10 p.m. is an acceptable hour to fire up a chainsaw, in my mind. So these are the logs I'm going to cut. I took some 2x4s and I nailed them to the side. Now I measured up. The bottom of this was like pretty flat, not perfect, you know, within a 1/4 inch. So I measured up from the table saw 12 inches, and I put a mark here, and I nailed on. Oh God, don't cut that cord. And I nailed on these 2x4s coming off. You see them? This way it's going to give my chainsaw something to ride on. Now I know you elitists are going to be like, that's not going to work because your saw blade's going to dig it in 2x4. I agree, but it's going to get me kind of close. I thought about putting some shims onto this here and here, but these logs are like this. So I'd have to do an elongated piece of metal here to shim it out so that it just rode on top and doesn't dig in. You know, I'm not looking for absolute perfection on these cuts. This is just rough cutting it, and then I'm going to have to do a lot of sanding, planing, working with it to bring it to perfectly, I think it was 7 3/4. I spoke wrong earlier in the video, 7 3/4. So I'm going to be using this Husqvarna 455 Rancher. It's not mine, but it works. I'm a Stihl kind of guy. If I was going to buy a chainsaw, I'd buy Stihl. I just feel like these things have like they have a computer in them sometimes. When you pull the trigger, it's not like bang, like right there. It's got to think about it. I'm not a big fan of the Husqvarnas, but chainsaws are expensive, so I'm going to use what I got. This has got maybe a 20-inch blade on it. One thing you guys don't know is that I use these chainsaws all the time. They've got 3 or 4 of them, and I use them all the time. I don't film a lot of the stuff I do when I'm doing little projects around the farm, but I use this thing all the time. I've used it probably 3 times in the last week. So I have several blades that I use. I don't sharpen my own blades. I always drop them off somewhere and have them sharpen them. When I was in Connecticut, there was a hardware store in Granby that would sharpen them for $5. Down here, they charge $7. If it's off the bar, if it's on, then they charge $10, which is so stupid. But anyways, it's $7, which I think it was like it was $21 to have the 3 blades I needed sharpened. $21. If I have them sharpened several times, I might as well just buy a sharpener. And I know you can get the hand sharpener for about $50, the Stihl one, that nice one that everyone likes, as long as you hold it level, it works good. But I would want mechanical, you know me, somewhat millennial, like instant gratification. So I've been looking at chainsaw sharpeners, and I just can't quite yet justify the $125 that you would need to spend to get a quality sharpener. So I'll just keep getting them sharpened. But this is a fresh blade. I actually, when I was putting it on, I cut the tip of my finger on it, and my God, that shit hurt. Oh God, dang. But extremely dangerous tool if you don't know. Like, obviously you would know this. I should get some hearing protection, a face mask. That's so loud. See, all my neighbors do have my phone number, and I tell them, hey, if I'm ever too loud, just let me know. And they're always like, no, we can't hear. Not perfect, you know, if you can see this 2x4's got all jaggedy, so this is, I would say, within an 1/8 inch. When I got these logs, they had some like rot holes in them, and when I'd taken little branches from the tree, and I had like hammered them in and glued them into this, and kind of did like you see like this, I did like a little inlay of little branches. On the top of it, it was good, but I'm gonna have to fix that up if this ends up becoming the top. We'll see. I'm in the middle of like 6 projects right now. Like, these are getting done right now. The metal frames are there. There's more shit over there. It's just absolute chaos in my workshop. If this was like a $900 table saw, yeah, I hear you. You don't have to say it. I know. Wouldn't be doing work on it, but it's a relatively inexpensive table saw. It's fiber. Drink it. I'd like to describe this workshop as organized chaos. I know the framing square is in this general area. See, I knew it was over here. So I'm going to take this kind of half-ass. Remember, very rough. Chalk line. I know it's on the ground. If I had a bigger shop, I think I'd be a little more organized, but it's minimal working space. This whole sanding process, oh my gosh, look at them all. You see all these? I've hand sanded every single one. to make them look rusticy. I'd love to know your opinions on the cabinets because I'm still on the fence about it. I was thinking of going with a teal on top of that, but might just go with the white with the clear coat. Still needs to clear coat it, so it's going to look a little different. Okay, fresh oxygen, please. Getting a little woozy. When I made this coffee table that it originally was, I had joined those three pieces together with some 3/4 inch or 1 inch dowels, and then I PL'd it in, PL polyethylene glue or something, you know, my favorite glue. But that's good. I mean, it's within a 1/4 inch of what I was shooting for. So we shall continue. At this point I can cut, you know, this, or I can cut that to make the finished piece 7 3/4. Is what that step needs to be. So I'm just looking at the rot that's in this board right here. I got some significant rot. 7 3/4 comes right here, so I only have to do a little bit of epoxy patchwork right there. Hopefully that doesn't go too deep, but otherwise I would have had to fill this in with some gnarly work, a lot of extra work. These need to be filled, but overall I'm good. So I'm going to cut this at 8 1/4. So I'll have to take it down a 1/2 inch. A lot of it's going to be done with a power planer. So I'm going to cut that, and then we're probably going to jump back into this tomorrow when I sober up a little bit, because maybe, I don't know. I think I'm pretty still sober. Who knows? One thing that I like a lot about this is the color variations. Because this is cedar, the inside, the heart of the tree is red, and then that outside, was it cambium? Is that right? I might be right. Cambium layer is white. I'm going to Google it, and then I might not put it in the video. But I like those color variations. It's really, you know, cool looking, I think. So, as much as it sucks that I'm going to sand those down and get rid of some of that white, I think it'll be alright. It's still pretty artistically looking. You are so good at speaking. I always get comments on my videos, and, you know, most of the time I delete them and don't even think about them again. This one right here. Truth Matters said, proof that any moron can make YouTube videos and actually get subscribers. Apparently this guy has never used a drill press or even built anything worthwhile. Thank you. That I did a video about my drill press, the worst drill press in the world. For some reason it's gotten like 300,000 times more views than any video I've ever done. But it's comments like those that kind of rub me the wrong way. My propane tank fireplace I made, oh, the hate that I get there is unbelievable. If you want to read some good comments, just go there. I don't even delete them anymore because it's almost comical. Bunch of safety sallies. All right, back to this project. So I'm going to start carving into this thing. I want to, clean up these edges, and then once I get them to the rough shape that I want, I'm going to start sanding it and planing it down to the correct dimension that it needs to be. This whole edge right here I need to do something with. I'm going to leave this hanging over right here. It's almost about 1 1/4 inches off. But back here, if you were in the bedroom, you would be able to see this edge. So I'm just going to round these edges over. I've taken and put a line straight down so I have a reference point of where this template had stopped, which was the corner of that stairwell. So I'm going to bring this back. If you've ever watched I think the first video I ever made, I used this tool right here, which is the Holy Galahad. You put it on an angle grinder, and it's got, these things are for, visibility, so you can see what you're doing, but totally useless. You can't see what you're doing. But it's got little teeth in it. They come in 3 different grits, kind of, but it's aggressive. It'll just take off material. It's kind of like a flap disc sander, more aggressive, but it's great for carving. I bought that tool from King Arthur Tools. It's called the Holy Galahad, King Arthur Tools. This thing, just this little disc alone, was $90. It's probably changed by now because I bought that years ago. But King Arthur Tools also makes other carving tools. They make carving tool like you get the angle grinder and the disc all in one. But you can buy just the attachment for an angle grinder, which I like because it's good for the DIYer. But they also sell this thing, which is a chainsaw blade in a circle. Following me? And it goes in between these 2 plates, But when I made this, I also bought this thing, the chainsaw. This thing is just a spinning blade of fun right here. A little dangerous, you know, a little live on the edge. But with that and this tool and some flap disc sanders, you can carve and make anything. And it's just a fun little thing to do. If you're just looking for a little hobby to do, carving wood is pretty cool. You can just get a log and just start carving into it. A little dangerous, don't get me wrong, this is extremely dangerous. You should probably use it with some guards and some safeties and probably be 10 feet away, which the tool that they sell, you are far away. But I'm me, so don't comment anything. So originally what I had done when I made this log thing was I took this chainsaw blade, this chainsaw thing, what is it called? I can't remember. But I took it and I just went into the log and I made all these curves. Then I came along with the Holy Galahad and just carved in and made these ridges and stuff like that, these valleys and stuff. And then I sanded it, and I sanded it forever. King Arthur's Holy Galahad. I really should have that handle. Definitely a safe. You fucking stickwad. Why wouldn't you make them the same, DeWalt's? I'm telling you, if you touch that, it will destroy you. I'm telling you. I'd strongly recommend wearing a dust mask, eye protection, hand protection, all the protections you need. So the Holy Galahad doesn't really make it anything that like finishable. I mean, if you were doing like a bear, you know how people carve trees and carve bears into them, then yeah, that's good. You could hit that with a torch and make that decent looking. But since this is kind of finish work, I want it really smooth, so I'm going to hit it with the flap disc sander and smooth it out. I like the flap disc sander that's got the radius in, which I've used in previous videos for like the inside corner of metal. But I can use that, and I can use both sides of it and really make this nice. And then a lot of orbital sanders going through the, can you see these? Going through the whole sanding process, you know, start out at 80, 60, 80, 120, 150, you know. I'm definitely going to use the really fast orbital sander that I bought a few weeks ago to get this thing perfect, but that'll work nicely. I can bring that back with the sander. So now I need to make this thing exactly 7 3/4 of an inch. I'm just going to plane the top here and plane the bottom. I got to be careful though, when I plane across here, it's going to tear out all this end, because I'm planing end grain. You don't do that, but it's the only way I can do it, unless I cut this with a bandsaw, which, again, don't have one. I'm going to do that carefully, and then we'll come back in, we'll do a little sanding. Maybe, unless I'm too drunk. I struggle at life sometimes. How do I film this? We'll just go like this or something. Just like that. Just as comfortable. You can see the stair. So I'm going to leave this step where it is right now. Obviously, I've got a lot of sanding to do to it, and then I got to refinish it. I'll probably sand the entire thing and then finish it with some general finishes. Oil, clear coat maybe, I don't know. We're going to play with it. I got to do these patch these holes with some stuff. It's been like this for literally like 3 weeks now, so gosh almighty. I'm very lazy at making videos. Apparently, I do like it. The fridge opens plenty for me, and like I said, I've been using it for 3 weeks, and it's fine. Eventually, I'll screw it in from the floor up, so that if it ever needs to be removed, you can get to it. If I put screws in from the back here, you'll never be able to get to them once I finish that wall. So that's that. Now, one benefit about me being lazy is that the video that was last weekend about the beginning of this project, part 1, that came out on Saturday. Today's Sunday. So I've gotten, the comments, the wonderful comments. I always love them. So a lot of people said, why don't you have the fridge door open the other way like this? I think that's absolutely ridiculous, stupid. No offense to you people that said this. Imagine it opens like this, okay? You're picturing that radius? Imagine it opening like this. What? Huh? What? No. No. And then if you've ever been in a kitchen where the refrigerator door opens the wrong way, which that way would be the wrong way, that drives me insane. So, no, thank you on that. Okay? good. Some people said, why don't you raise it up 7¼ inches so that it goes past it. Even without this step here, the fridge door is only going to open like another 2 more inches. So this is fine. One thing you could do is go with a smaller fridge, which was the thing that I thought about, but I wanted extra fridge space. I've been using that small fridge. I think it was like maybe 4 cubic feet. This is, I believe, 9 cubic feet. A little more than doubling my cubic foot of refrigeration. Wow, sounds smart. Yeah, you could do a smaller fridge, and then you could put a microwave in the bottom there. I don't want to have a microwave in my house, even though I have one. Here, let's put some random numbers on there. That's going to piss somebody off. But like I said, I'm going to leave this for a while. It's not a priority. It was just kind of a filler video, something for me to do. Quick little, it was really, honestly, a drunk project that I did one night. Don't step there. Just don't step in that area. You'll be fine. Where was I? Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you comment your great knowledge down below. Give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel and you like this kind of nonsense that is happening here, hit that subscribe button. The next build is on its way. I've already started filming some of it. It's a little slow going. And then finding the thing that I want to do is a little slow going. If you guys are interested, though, in supporting and helping that project, please check me out on Patreon. I don't like pushing Patreon too much, but it is a thing that is very helpful for me to create these videos. Again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Just to let you know, to turn the camera on today took me about 2 hours. Camera's starting to go out. That's a $1,000 camera. That's a problem.